Hello everyone and welcome to round 3 of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. My name's Chris McCarthy. I'm going to be calling you through the action this morning. Now, it has been declared a wet race in Monaco. However, the track is drying. What that means is most of the drivers have put on slick tyres. However, if it does rain, then the race will continue. This is going to be a good one. This is round 3. This is race number 1. Now, we had qualifying yesterday. They were split into 2 groups. The slower group are going to be on the inside row of the grid, and the quicker group are going to be on the outside row. So Isaac Hadjar is going to be on pole, who was second overall, and Zane Maloney is going to be on second. That will swap round tomorrow. Hopefully that all makes sense. Let's bring you up to speed with where we are in terms of points standings. We've had 2 rounds so far and 4 races in total. Gregor Sorsi is currently leading the way on 85 points. However, he is down in 10th in the standings. Paul Laron is second. Then it's Quinn, Mini and Alatalo. Enough of me, though. Let's take you to the track and let you look at what's going on.
Who is on pole position in
right then, there we go. Isaac Hadjar is going to be who's going to be on pole position, the 16-year-old rookie. What a performance he put in yesterday. He was quickest in Group A. And Isaac Hadjar, well, I think he's going to be quite thankful that the track has dried, because he would have been very, very nervous, the young Frenchman, having to go out onto a wet circuit. None of the drivers have ever driven this circuit in the wet before, so a good result for him. A good result for our race GP as well. They have won the last 3 years. The Formula Renault Eurocup has come here, and they have locked out the front row of the grid for both races. Essentially how qualifying worked yesterday, wherever you finished in your group is what row you started on the grid. So Isaac Hadjar went quickest, but was in the slower group, so he's going to be on the front row for both races. It's going to be Zane Maloney, his teammate, who will be alongside him starting on the outside of row 1, and he will start on pole position for race number 2. Beautiful place to come racing. I've got to say the drivers are absolutely all loving being here. All of them that I spoke to yesterday, just really enjoying the conditions, just really enjoying the challenge of Monaco. Sadly, though, I must tell you that Lorenzo Fluxa did stop on his warm-up lap to go round to the grid. That is Dudu Barrichello, and for the second time this season, it looks like he's hit problems before we've even hit the formation lap. As you can see, the team are getting to work to the back of the car there, so the JD Motorsport team trying to fix that one. Let's run you through the grid, though. You will see an empty slot, and I'll talk about that in just a second. So Isaac Hadjar and Zane Maloney, it's an all R-Race GP front row. Row number 2 is going to be Paul Aron and Hadjian David. Then on row number 3, we have Patrick Pasma and Alex Quinn. David Vidales, desperate need of points. He's on row 4 with William Alatalo. Mari Boya and championship leader Gregor Sorsi are on row 5. Mini and Ten Brink are next. Then it's Pietro Deligawanti and Andrea Rosso. Elias Sepinen and Kaz Havercourt, Francesco Pizzi, and the American Brad Benavides is 18th. Lorenzo Fluxa is due to be 19th, but has stopped. Dudu Barrichello seems to have problems on the grid. Bortoletto, Beganovic, Marin Angeli and Girth round out your top 24. Ferrati, Nos, Bula and Famulero, this will be their one and only race this weekend. How qualifying works, those bottom 4, this will be their only race. As you can see, we have 28 drivers out there rather than our usual 32. There is the car of Fluxa. Sadly, that has come to a stop, but to go back to those 28 cars, that's all we're allowed on track. So how the qualifying system worked is the bottom 4 will swap round between the 2 races. It was getting into the top 12 in your group. That's what you needed to do to make both races, and that would determine what row you start on. As you can see, the track's going to be a little bit slippery in places, isn't it? This is going to be a very, very tasty race. I can tell you that. I'm literally rubbing my hands as we speak. This is going to be a good one. It has not been wet all weekend, nor has it really been like this either. So this is completely different to what these drivers are used to. And as you can see, it's an unforgiving circuit, isn't it? Anywhere you go off, you're straight into a barrier. Let's talk a little bit more about the grid, though. Isaac Hadjar, he was on the podium last time on pole. Zane Maloney would make a history for Barbados if he can finish on the podium here in Monaco. Aron, with a worse result of 4th, is on row 2 with Hadjian David, who scored no points at the last round, so in desperate need of a good score here. Patrick Pasma, who has his engineer back from the F3 Asian Championship, going much better than what we've usually seen. He's on row 3 with Alex Quinn, who was delayed on his last 2 laps in qualifying. David Vidales, another driver who scored no points last time. He's on row 4 with William Alatalo. Then we have Mari Boya next along, another one of the rookies. Two of them featured in the top 10, one of them on pole position. Gregor Saucy, your championship leader on row 5. If you're wondering why Saucy is quite far down by his standards, considering he's had 3 pole positions, 2 new pole sitters for this race, but that is because Gregor Saucy only did 4 laps in practice. Gabriele Mini just outside the top 10 with Thomas Ten Brink, 2 rookies to watch out for. Deli Gawanti and Rosso next. Seppänen, his joint best qualifying result, he's next with Kaz Havercourt. We haven't seen the best of him yet, especially not today. Believe me, he's one to watch going forward. Pizzi and Benavides next. Sadly, we've lost Fluke, so we'll find out what happens to Dudu Barrichello. Bortoletto very disappointed with that 21st. Beganovic, another one who had a lack of practice due to some problems, is 22nd. Marin Angeli and Girth. Girth lives in Monaco, so this is a bit of a home race for him. Let's hope he can make some places from there. Ferrati, Nos, Bula and Famulero. And that is how the grid lines up. And I can tell you, this is the one they all want to win if you haven't figured it out already. Now I can see actually the red and white car on the bottom of your picture. Now, is that the 71, the 91 of Barrichello? No, it isn't, but hopefully all things are good for Barrichello, and we can see him go round. Well, this is the one they all want to win, isn't it? This is the race, Monaco. The one they've all want to win, the one they've all dreamt of winning as kids, and now lining up on pole position is Isaac Hadjar, and alongside him on the front row is going to be Zay Maloney. Paul Aron and Hadrian David will be on row number 2. Rounding out your top 10, Paz McQuinn, Vidalis, Alatalo, Boya and Saucy. It's round number 3 of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. It is race number 1 of the weekend. To the right of screen in Hadjar, to the left of screen is Hadjar, to the right is Maloney, and we are go here in Monaco. A good start there from Hadjar. He's going to lead us down towards turn number 1. Maloney immediately coming across to cut off any challenges from Aaron as they make their way through turn number 1, and uphill they go. Someone cutting across the inside of turn number 1. They're going to have to give that place back, but it's a clean start, and that's the most important thing as we get away under racing here in Monaco. Someone with a small lock up there, 2 of the ARTs. I think that was going side by side as they make their way through the casino section, and now down towards Mirabeau. There's a place you can overtake, but so far so good for Isaac Hadjar, just trying to keep it in one piece. Let's remember the conditions are going to be a little bit green out there. The F2 race earlier was ran in wet conditions. We are the first one going out on slick tyres as they make their way now through the hairpin and down towards Portier, now through the tunnel section, and immediately the top 4 are breaking away. Hadjar with a nice gap out front. That's exactly what he would have wanted to do from his teammate Maloney. On the brakes, they now come towards the Nouvelle chicane. Oh dear, we've got a brief yellow flag out. We'll find out what that is in just a second. But it's Hadjar from Maloney. Aaron there in 3rd place as they come through to back and now into the swimming pool section. This is going to be one of those races where you're just going to have to stay out of trouble. You don't have to overtake to make a lot of places here in Monaco. As long as you keep it in one piece and keep it going, places will just come to you over the duration of 30 minutes plus 1 lap. This could be one of the longest stints they've done all weekend, so concentration is going to be key. It's what they've been practicing when they've been in the sim building up to this event. And RSGP are looking very good. 3-time winners here, as I've said before. Now let's find out what that brief yellow flag was for. That looks like Oliver Girth. Oh dear, a little bit of a clash there. This is the number 71 of Benavides down the inside of Marin Angeli. Marin Angeli takes avoiding action across the Nouvelle chicane. What a lunge that was, though. So it's Hadjar, Maloney, Aaron, David, Paz McQuinn, Vidalis, Alatalo, Boya, Saucy staying in 10th place. Not many changes within your top 10 so far. You can see one of the Prema drivers there, Vidalis in 7th with a bit of a queue behind him. The first of them being the predominantly red-coloured car of Alatalo as they come now into the tunnel. Finally through the quick right-hander. And the gap just under a second between Hadjar and Maloney, but there is a long, long way to go in this race, believe me. What a shot that is as they drop downhill. And you can just see the elevation change if you look to your left. That's going up Beau Rivage. Trust me, when you see it in person, it is a very, very big undulation change. And when you walk it, you feel it even more. For Hadjar, that clock counting down is going to feel very slow for him. This is a race you often just have to drive at 80–90%. You don't need to push 100% around here. Speaking to Alex Quinn as well, he said, and he's running in 6th, he said in practice, just one of the things you need to do when you drive around Monaco is not go full flat out straight away. So Hadjar to your left there, got a bit of wheel spin. Maloney to the right, came immediately across to cover off any challenges from Aaron. And it was a clean start after that. We did have someone diving down the, cutting across the inside of Sander Vogt. We'll find out who that was in a second. Alex Quinn was trying to go down the outside of Pasma there in the all-red Arden car. Couldn't quite get through. Well defended from the fin of Pasma. But whoever it was who cut Sander Vogt, I think gave the places back. Oh no, there's Dudu Barrichello. He's been so unfortunate this year with penalties and mechanical issues, and they continue for him. Barrichello into pit lane. Hopefully we see him rejoin the race. But out of the tunnel once more, the gap is extending between your two leaders. It's up to 1.2 seconds now as Hadjar makes his way through the Nouvelle chicane. Coming under pressure is Paul Aron in the background. Aron has David closing in, the Frenchman closing in on the Estonian. Behind that it is Pasma and Quinn, so we're 3 groups of 2 in your top 6. Vidalis has a bit of a queue behind him with Alatalo, Boyer, Saucy all lining up. Mini is in that as well, and it stretches as far back to Deli Gawanti, I'd say, in 13th place. On the brakes in towards Raskas we go. Now we make our way uphill through the final corner. David has a long time to try and make this move. New fastest lap from your leader, Hadjar, 1:31. Good stuff from him. 1:31.235, as we can see at the top of your screen. One driver who definitely needs a good result here is the car in the number 5, the predominantly black-coloured car there of Patrick Pasma. He's just had a bad season so far. He scored 5 points so far this season, all of those being at the last round. But a new lease of confidence for him at this round. Here he is in the 5, has the pressure from the 21 there of Quinn. But this would be a desperately good result for him. If you're wondering how points work, it's the same as F1. 25 to the winner, 18 to second, 15 to third. So 10 points would go to Pasma if he can finish where he is, the KIC Motorsport driver. Finished 4th in the Formula Regional European Championship last year, so came into this as one of the top seeds. Would have been hoping to continue that form. He's one of 3 drivers who've raced here in the past. Saucy and Benavides the other, as we head into the Nouvelle chicane. But Quinn is starting to up that ante just a little bit. Said himself it's going to be very, very difficult to overtake around here. I think anyone who's a fan of racing, and even if you're not, you just look at the circuit, you know overtaking is going to be extremely difficult. You almost have to force a mistake, really. That's how you're going to find your way out of a problem. Uphill we go, in towards the final corner. Another new fastest lap from Hadjar. Expect those times to keep coming down. It's come down by another 0.4 of a second there. Don't forget, the F2 cars earlier that were racing were on wets, we're on slicks. Oh dear, we got another problem. That's Ferrati, who is being pushed back into the pits. Are we about to find out what happened? Ah, he's got damage to the left rear of that car. Now, has he had a... I wonder if he's found his way into a wall somewhere. So the whole tyre's coming loose, isn't it? He's certainly picked up damage there somehow. Side-to-side contact with someone, or he's grazed a barrier somewhere. Very easy to do around this circuit. Here's your battle for 3rd place as they come down towards Portier then. Aron versus David. Into the tunnel we go, and this is a place where you can make a move, as we saw Benavides demonstrate earlier. Quinn in 6th place might stay patient, you know. He might be seeing this battle developing up ahead and think, I'll just follow Pasma, see if he can drag me up towards these 2. Aaron just can't flinch under the pressure that's being applied to him from David as they come through to back corner now. Into the swimming pool section. And putting up with the pressure well is Aaron. Look at the gap, though. You can tell he's really struggling for a bit of pace, isn't he? The Prema driver. He's lost 5 seconds to those top 2. And another new fastest lap once more from Hadjar. Some of this could be down to setups because it was declared a wet race. The conditions, it was kind of unknown where we were going to go. And so I imagine there's some very differing setups on these cars. Let's have a look at a replay here of the number 7, Axel Noss, getting it all wrong coming down to the Nouvelle chicane. Caught that one just in one piece. Noss, who actually had a crash in qualifying yesterday, and that was at turn number 1. Managed to get it back to the pits, but went no further. Down in 22nd place so far. So he's made 4 places in this race. But he's lost a good few seconds to Beganovic, who's now ahead of him in 21st. And Beganovic, someone we're used to seeing towards the front. There's Ferrati. And that's his weekend over, in fact. He's not going to be out tomorrow, so real shame for the Swiss driver. But we continue watching this battle for 3rd place. David just taking his time. We're not even a third of the way through this race yet. Quinn behind, still applying that pressure to Pasma. And these guys know they're on the biggest stage of all. Winning this race is one thing, standing on the podium is another thing as well in itself, isn't it? Just being on the podium at Monaco is something all these guys have dreamt about. Being on the top step is certainly something they're all pushing for. Only one can stand there, and so far, Hajar, unbelievably impressive, 4 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. The fastest lap once more, 1:30.2. You wouldn't think he's a rookie. You wouldn't think he's just 16 years old in his 2nd year of single-seater racing. Isaac Hajar finished 3rd in the French F4 Championship last year with 3 wins and 11 podiums. However, we are watching Paul Aron, who did the Formula Renault Euro Cup last year, as did Alex Quinn, who's 2nd in the queue there in the Red Arden Motorsport car. Special race for them. Of course, one of the last winners in F2 here 2 years ago was Antoine Hubert. And we're all remembering him this weekend as we make our way now into the tunnel section. And Quinn, that'll be just an extra little motivation to try and get on the podium this weekend. He's going to be starting 5th tomorrow. And we're seeing a few drivers do that. Just Pasma there, you would have seen, just came across to the middle of the circuit just to put off any idea Quinn has of even attempting a move down the inside. But Pasma is losing time here now to this battle for 3rd place. He'll be desperate to get through. But it's going to take just all he's waiting for is just a fraction of a mistake from Pasma. That'll help him get the run. And if he gets a run like that, he'll be straight down the inside, no problem. Another new fastest lap from Hajar. Just the consistency, 1:32 again. Unbelievable consistency from him. Gap between 4th and 5th, 1.6 seconds. We'll monitor that now over the next few laps. That's between David and Pasma. Pasma leading this duo here, who we are watching on screen. And David's actually fallen back from Aron, isn't he? You'll see it here. There's the red and white Prema car of Aron, and there's David. That's a little gap between those two now, isn't it? That wasn't there before. That's either a mistake from David or he's actually decided just to drop away. Tell you, under all sorts of pressure here is Mari Boyer. You would have seen in the orange and black colours there. Mari Boyer coming under all sorts of pressure, the Van Amersfoort driver. Saucy, the one behind him. But we remain with the monitoring these battles for 3rd and 4th. So the gap between 4th and 5th, 1.6 seconds we looked at last time. We'll keep an eye on it. It remains around that so far. Watching them come through this section is something spectacular. See, not a bad view from up there at Mascas either, is it? As they come around there. But we're approaching half race distance. 30 minutes plus a lap to go. Dudu Barrichello is back out on circuit. We have a yellow flag at sector 3. Not too sure what that was for, but you may see Dudu Barrichello now returning to the track. There he is to the left of your screen. Now, Bortoletto has gone past Havicourt, and I wonder, that's for 16th place, and I wonder if that's why we saw a very brief yellow flag. I wonder if that was a lunge down the inside from Bortoletto. Someone's just dropped down the order slightly because Girth has come up to 23rd place. I think that was Lena Bula, who's actually dropped to 24th. So a change between those two there. But good to see Barrichello back out on track. At least he's going to take the checkered flag. He'll be out again tomorrow, starting from 19th place. Into the tunnel once more. David's getting a little closer, isn't he, as we now make our way down to the Nouvelle chicane. Filling the mirrors again. There you can see, first time we've had even a think of a move there from David. He's starting to up it now. Aaron's going to have to be careful of this. As they come through to back corner, the very quick left-hander, very easy to make a mistake here. And when I say filling the mirrors, Aaron's always going to be checking his mirrors, as you are racing drivers do when you're under pressure. And if he can see David in them, and David, all he has to do is place himself in the middle of the track to do that, then it's just going to keep reminding Aaron that he's there. It's almost mind games between two drivers. Drivers can often deal with those mind games very well, but sometimes they can crack under the pressure, and that's what David is hoping to do. Right, let's have a look at a replay. Bortoletto's in the predominantly blue-coloured car there. Oh, dear. Contact there. That move was never going to work, was it? Now, that was actually Andrea Rosso, apologies, in the 19, who dived down the inside. A move that wasn't going to work, and I think it was on the number 58 of Elias Seppänen that move was on. It was. That's the battle for 14th place. No changes made in that battle, but what it did allow is Bortoletto pounced into the final corner and got past Kaz Havikor. Demonstration of just how hard it is to overtake round here. We're about halfway distance now. And it looks like Quinn, fourth in this queue, is the one closest to a move this time. So far, no budging. There you can see David once more, just taking that slightly tighter line into the Nouvelle chicane. It goes to show just how impressive your leaders are, because we can't see them. That's because they're 12 seconds ahead of this. Hadjar absolutely flying up front. There is no points for fastest lap, by the way. But to take a Leicester flag win with fastest lap isn't a bad effort at all. Yellow flag is out now. What's happened there? That could be one of our leaders. Marin Angeli has dropped a place. I wonder if that's got anything to do with him. We'll find out very shortly, I think is the answer. But a yellow flag is out. If a car needs to be cleared, I can see Marin Angeli dropping off, so I'm worried that he's the one in trouble. All will be revealed in due course. Yep, there he is. That's to the right of picture. That's into the Nouvelle chicane, and that could be a safety car. So Hadjar's lead, I think, is about to be significantly reduced here, and confirmed safety car is now deployed. So what has happened there? Now, is that a move that Marin Angeli has tried? Or is that someone who's tried to move on him? We will find out in due course. But safety car has been deployed. And this is good news for Aaron. This is good news for the likes of Pasma, Vidales as well. Not good news for Nicola Marin Angeli. The Italian climbs out of his car, not having the best of seasons so far. We're about to find out. Let's look out for that red Arden car. Someone tried to move on him and spun him around, so not his fault at all. We'll hopefully see another replay. I couldn't quite identify the car that came down the inside. It looked like one of the DR Formula cars that had tried to move there. So perhaps it could have been the likes of, I wouldn't like to pin the blame on anyone until I knew, but certainly what it looked like from what I saw. But what we do know for certain is that Marin Angeli is out of this race. Real shame for him. He'll be back tomorrow though, starting from 24th on the grid. So they'll be picked up by the safety car. Let's run through your top 20. You can see your kind of winners and losers. Bortoletto, the biggest mover in the field so far. So Hadjar, Maloney, Aaron, David, Pasma, Quinn, Vidales, Alatalo, Boyer, Saucy round out your points finishers so far. Then it is Mini, Ten Brink, Deligawanti, Seppänen, who's up 1, Rosso down 1, Bortoletto up 5. Impressive performance from him. Then Havikor, Pizzi. Behind that is Benavides, Beganovic, Nos, Girth, Bula, Famulero. Running out your current drivers out there. Of course, Dudu Barrichello is out there as well, having returned from being in the pits. sadly, we have lost Marin Angeli from this race. We've lost Ferrati as well. And we've also lost Lorenzo Fluxa before the race even got going. So 3 drivers sadly down, and the Alpine A110 will now pick them up, the safety car. The marshals here work spectacularly fast though, so I don't suspect we'll be out there very long. And as you can see at the top of your screen, it's actually going to come straight back in at the end of this lap. Oh, Ten Brink is tumbling down the order. Thomas Ten Brink is going down the order. I'm not too sure exactly what's happened there, but it did look like he's dropped a few places. If anything's happened, we'll find out with a replay shortly. I don't think Hadjar's actually going to be too nervous about his, because his pace was unmatchable. Aaron's left a bit of a gap to the 2 RHGP drivers. He's going to want to close that down shortly, and he does now. So Hadjar in the number 6, leading us round. Just trying to get those tyres a little bit more warm. May wait until we come round Raskas before getting his foot down. Just weaving that car just to try and distract Maloney, and took a wide line through Raskas, and off he goes. So a good restart there from Hadjar. For a driver who hasn't won a race so far this season, that was a very impressive restart, and he's weaving just a bit more just to get some more heat into those tyres. As we come up towards turn number 1, it's now on lap number 13 of the race, and we are back underway and racing. Maloney in second. Aaron, not the best of restarts for him in that red and white Prema car. He's lost a little bit of time to your top 2. And it is David, Pasma and Quinn behind that. Down towards Mirabeau. See just how bumpy it is through there as they drop downhill. Great camera angle this as they come in towards the hairpin, the tightest corner on the circuit. Ooh, almost contact there between Pasma and David. Just got away with it in the end, but again, Aaron's struggling here. I wonder if it's just a setup on the car that they haven't quite set the car up for these conditions, but just seems to be struggling to get going in this race. But what he is doing very well is holding on to his position. So if you can't make any places, don't lose any. And Aaron is certainly doing that so far. But your 2 teammates close together as we head into the swimming pool section for the 13th time of the race. Now the incident between Marin Angeli and it was Benavides will be investigated after the race. So as we may have suspected, it was the DR Formula of Benavides that tried that move down the inside, and I can only see that one going one way, sadly. Marin Angeli turned in and Benavides kind of appeared out of nowhere, didn't he? So I think the stewards will take action on that one as they head up through Beau Rivage now in towards Massenet Corner. Less than 10 minutes to go. And Hadjar driving this like he's driven this track many a time. He's never driven this track once in his life before. Neither is Zane Maloney. Neither is Paul Aron. Neither is Hadrian David. Pasma is the first of them that actually has. Only 3 drivers in the field have driven it before. And they are Saucy, Pasma and Benavides, funnily enough. Into the hairpin we go. You can see just how tight it is. Here's Aaron, David, Pasma, Quinn, all behind him, those 4. Then we have a gap back to Vidales in the next Prema. Dropping downhill into the Nouvelle chicane. What can David do to try and make this place? Now, he's got to, in this situation, 4th place would be good points on the board for him. And Hadrian David, if you weren't with us last time, he took a 3rd and a 4th at the first run. We're talking about the number 10, by the way, here in the kind of white and silver car. Hadrian David, a Frenchman. 3rd and 4th for the first round was a fantastic round. But last time out, didn't have the best of luck. He had to come from dead last in qualifying in race 1 and finished 12th. Then had a crash on the first lap in race 2 and DNF. So he scored no points. But that first round means he's still 7th in the championship with 27 points. This would give him another 12 and would certainly boost him up a couple of places in the standings. So he doesn't really need to go after 3rd. Is it worth the risk? That's another thing these drivers are going to have to do. Almost take a small risk assessment on whether it's actually worth taking a lunge down the inside. And you'd have to say for someone in Hadrian David's shoes, potentially not, but I'm talking to this as someone sat behind a desk just watching this with kind of nothing to win or lose from it. Hadrian David has a lot to win and a lot to lose, doesn't he? He wants to go for the title this season. So as a racing driver, he's going to think completely differently, but met Hadrian David a few times, used to commentate on him when he was in karting. Very, very good driver, very intelligent driver as well. No surprise to see him do well racing around Monaco. Aaron, likewise, I've said it a few times, you know, this is the last of our F1 support races, and Aaron, being a Mercedes junior driver, he wants to impress. He wants to impress the bosses and show them he's worthy of that position. And so far, he's doing a good job of that. Second in the standings, two podiums to his name. A worst result of fourth. Now, did we have someone just drop down the order there? Too sure, I think that might have just been them coming across the line. 129.93. Oh no, we've got a yellow flag. Saucy, I think, is off. Championship leader is off. He's tumbling down the order. Yellow flags are out at turn number 1. Just caught that in the back of picture. Oh, where's he come from? Where on earth is he? I think Saucy's got lost, but he's found his way back to the track now. And Gregor Saucy's going to rejoin. Right, let's see what happens. He's going to lock up his front brakes, I think. There we go. And Gregor Saucy found his way going off. That was Girth, who had a little lock-up coming out of the swimming pool section. But Gregor Saucy has dropped way down the field now. Let's find out exactly where he is. He's outside the top 22. So, disaster. The first time we've seen a mistake from your championship leader. That's promoted Gabriele Mini up into the points. And as we say, you don't have to do any overtaking to gain places around here at Monaco. Seppänen, another driver on the move. I've got to say, he's only one race where he DNF'd last time as he not moved forward. Other than that, he's gained 5 or more places, and he's gained 3 so far in this race. And for Monaco, that is impressive stuff. But with Gregor Saucy making a mistake there, it just shows it can happen to anyone. You've got to be careful. Hajar, though, still pushing. And Vidales and Alatalo, I think, may have come together here because we're having them drop down the order. Let's find out. That might have just been a small timing issue. Apologies, because they do come across the line in 7th and 8th place still, and I can see them in the back of picture. So apologies for that. Benavides is in the pit lane, though. That's something that definitely has happened. Just over 4 minutes on the clock. Down towards Mirabeau we go. That's going to promote everyone up, and a new front wing that is needed for Benavides. So more problems for him, or that could have been from that contact earlier. That was just getting a little bit too difficult to deal with. Here's your battle for 5th. Pasma there in the red, that's Quinn. And Vidales, Alatalo, Boya, and Mini. All running very close together. Deligoanti doing a great job in 11th place, I have to say. If he stays there, that will be his joint best result of the season. Seppänen next along behind that, and he needs a good result here. Had a DNF last time out, as I mentioned, so this would be a good result. He's knocked on the door of points all season. He's got one of them to his name so far. And once again, he's moving up the field. Andrea Rosso likewise in 13th place. Havicourt 14th. Bortoletto was moving up the field, but he dropped down the field, so real shame for him. He had an incident somewhere, and Bortoletto is now all the way down in 23rd, but he had gained 5 places at one stage. Less than 3 minutes to go. Just under 3 minutes, as I said, so just a few laps now remaining for Hajar. He's got a gap of 3 seconds to Maloney, who could make history for his country here today. Aaron in 3rd. There's Maloney, who we're talking about, the driver from Barbados. I think he's going to have the whole country behind him, isn't he? He's going to put the Barbados flag on that Monaco podium. Fantastic effort from him. But the battle for 3rd well and truly on. And here it is. We pick it up as they come down through Portier. Aaron versus David. Who's your money on as they make their way into the tunnel section now? in towards the Nouvelle chicane. This is where we could see a move from David. Not on this lap, though. Pasma, likewise in the background, can't afford to take his foot off the gas because he's got Quinn just behind him. Then Vidales has the pressure of Alatalo as well. Very close out there, and still a lot to play for. Still a place on the podium to fight for here between Aaron and Adrian David. Aaron just can't make a single mistake now. He can't rest at all as he makes his way up to the start-finish line. And this is where we saw Gregor Saucy make a mistake just a couple of laps ago. Aaron will just be hoping to get through in one piece and does so. Going to be ticking them off corner by corner now. We'll get 2 more laps to go at the end of this one, I suspect. 30 minutes plus 1 lap is your race distance in Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Hope you've been enjoying the action. Great to see these cars going around here. These drivers as young as 16 years old. Our race leader and potentially our race winner very soon, just 16, the Frenchman. Mostly all teenagers in this field. And these are your next drivers that are going to be, if you've been watching FIA F2 this weekend, if you've been watching F1 this weekend, these are the drivers you're going to see there in a few years. So remember these names, the likes of Isaac Hadjar, Zane Maloney, Paul Aron, David, Pasma, Quinn and more. They're all capable of going up there. And believe me, there's a lot of this field that can make it all the way to the top. And these will be your drivers who you see moving up through the ranks. The Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, co-organised by ACI Sport and Alpine and certified by the FIA, is on the FIA ladder, sat between F3 and F4. These are Formula 3 spec cars, so these guys go up to FIA F3. They're not going to have to make much of a jump up, let's just say that. New fastest lap once more from Isaac Hadjar on the, well, what is now going on to the penultimate lap of the race. He's enjoying himself. I think that's the best thing to say about that, but we're not looking at him on screen. We're looking at Paul Aron in the red and white there versus Adrian David. They're making their way down towards Mirabeau. And Aron doing very well under the pressure. His worst result of 4th so far this season. This would be his 3rd podium. And that would make him the most frequent driver on the podium, along with Gregor Saucy, who's been there 3 times himself, all of them on the top step. On the brakes now, down towards the Nouvelle chicane. Pasma, likewise behind, cannot afford to make a mistake, but we're about to start the final lap of the race. Isaac Hadjar in towards Raskas corner. The clock struck 0. He's going to have just 1 more lap remaining now as he makes his way round towards the start-finish line. And across the line we go. There you can see the finger, 1 lap to go. What a sensational performance this has been. Look, you can't even see his teammate Zane Maloney in the background. Behind that, Aaron, David, then we have Pasma and Quinn. Vidales doing well to hold off the pressure of what has been Alatalo, Boyer and Mini pretty much the whole race. Deligaranti, the first of the non-points finishers, but Pietro Deligaranti for a rookie, that's a very good result. Carrying the flag for the Monolite Racing team there. This battle still could change hands for 3rd place. Adrian David not letting go. Just trying to force a mistake, but Aaron is not budging so far. Pasma doing a great job there in 5th as well to hold off the pressure of Quinn as they come down towards the Nouvelle chicane for the final time. But first to get there is this man here, Isaac Hadjar, the 16-year-old from Paris in France. Took his first pole position of the season, became the 3rd different driver to start on pole position when he started the race today, and he has been unchallenged all race since then in just his second year of single-seater racing. He's looking like he's been at it for years. His debut at Monaco, but it's going to be a lights-to-flag win and a first win of the season. The RSGP driver, Isaac Hadjar, comes up to the line to take the checkered flag, and he is your race winner here in Monaco. Zane Maloney from Barbados is going to be in second place. What a result for him, and finishing in third. His third podium of the season is going to be Paul Aron. Hadrian David finishes in fourth. Patrick Pasma is fifth place. Then it's Quinn in sixth. Vidales is seventh. Alatalo in eighth. Boyer in ninth. Mini in 10th. Two cars on the podium for RSGP. There are the two teammates giving each other the thumbs up. A 1-2 finish for RSGP, and that's 4 years in a row, or 4 races in a row they have taken victory here in Monaco. They absolutely dominate when they come to this place, and they have done once more. These drivers, Hadjar and Maloney, 8th and 9th respectively in the championship coming into this round, but it didn't look like that when they were out there, did it? That's the second podium of the season for Zane Maloney, but there's your winner, Isaac Hadjar. Unchallenged, fastest lap as well. Never seemed to slow down all race. It's like he's been driving around here for years, isn't it? What a fantastic performance from him. And I tell you what, looking at the points, he's now going to be your new leader in the rookie standings as well. He was second behind Gabriele Mini. The rookie standings are made up of the points they score overall, but that will see him leapfrog Gabriele Mini. That's going to push him into the top 5 of the standings as well. 25 points on the board for him. Zane Maloney, likewise, he's going to move up a good couple of places too. And Paul Aron in third. He's going to close that gap to Gregor Sorsi. It was 28 points coming into this race, and a good 15 points on the board there. So it's going to come down to 13 if my maths is correct, and it isn't always correct. But it looked like Sorsi was running away with this title. That seems to have changed, especially when Paul Aron's going to be starting on the second row again tomorrow. But there's your winner. It's what they all dream of, standing on the podium of Monaco, and on his very first attempt, Isaac Hadjar is going to be on the top step. And for the crowd here at Monaco, I think they're going to enjoy hearing that French national anthem as well. Good to see a 40% capacity crowd here. There's going to be even more of them tomorrow, I can tell you that. We're the last support race before the big one tomorrow. There'll be plenty of them here. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. You can just hear the round of applause, can't you, as well? And as we always do here at Monaco, they don't come into the pits, your top 3, they come down the start-finish straight. Maloney just going off screen there. There's Isaac Hadjar. And we'll see Paul Aron join them. The #1 spot awaits for the first time this season for Isaac Hadjar. And after that performance, I tell you what, he stamped his authority down. He was a driver that was incredibly fast in testing. A bit of a surprise package, given he's only in his second year of single-seater racing. But Isaac Hadjar is proving that pace in testing was no fluke as he stands on the car. Well done to him. Zane Maloney, who will be on pole position tomorrow. Second place for him today. Could he take the win tomorrow? But it's celebrations all around for RSGP. That's fantastic to see, isn't it? I can only imagine the nerves of Isaac Hadjar when he saw that it was wet, but he drove that like a true champion. And that will impress every single person around the paddock. That's here this weekend, and there's some big names indeed, isn't there? Well done. Well done to the 16-year-old. Brilliant performance. There's Zane Maloney, second for him today. As I said, he starts on pole position tomorrow. He went quickest overall in qualifying yesterday, hence he'll be on pole tomorrow. He has his chance to take the win then. But with the pace Isaac Hadjar had there, I tell you what, and the confidence he's going to be carrying off the back of this, it's not going to be easy for Zane Maloney tomorrow. But hey, second for him today. That's his best result of the season. Well done to him. Well done. It was a difficult round by his standards last time. 2 9th-place finishes, but back where he belongs on the podium. And third place, Paul Aron, Mr. Consistency this season. and hence he is second in the standings, and he has just closed that gap to Gregor Saucy dramatically, who had a mistake today. Saucy's going to start the race from 9th tomorrow. There is Aaron. He'll be desperate for a race win, but I tell you what, he's coming very close. 3 times on the podium. His day will come this season. I've got no doubts about it. But for now, the top step is all for that man there, Isaac Hadjar. What did you think of it? It was a good race, wasn't it? You know, it was a typical Monaco race. It was all down to the pressure. It was all down to consistency. But given they're all in the same car, I don't think we expected anyone to dominate in the fashion that we just saw there. Hugely impressive stuff. And Isaac Hadjar next weekend is going to be going to home soil as well when we go to Paul Ricard. But we've got a race coming up tomorrow. If you do have to leave us now, of course, don't if you don't have to, because we've got the podium coming up. But the race tomorrow will be at 11:50 local time here in Monaco. That's when the lights will go green for race number 2. Isaac Hadjar, one of the French protégés in motorsport. And I think you can see why. Great stuff from him. And that RSGP team, as I said, when Formula Renault Eurocup have been here the last 3 times, they had a win with Smollett, they had a win with Charles Malaysia, they had a win with Will Palmer as well, and now they have a 1-2 finish with Hadjar and Maloney. I think we're almost ready to get our drivers on to the podium. I imagine there's even some emotions coming from Hadjar there, and I don't say that in a surprising fashion. I just mean I can only imagine what this means to him. You can see what it means to the team. They're absolutely delighted with that. They would have carried a lot of confidence coming into this race, but that just proves that championship like this, I think I said it at the first or second round, that the winner can come from anywhere in this championship. Championship points don't really mean a lot in terms of who's your favourite going into each round. We're going to see plenty of different winners. We're going to see your championship leaders fighting just to get in the points. That's what we saw today with Gregor Saucy. This is going to really close things up. And today, our top 2, 8th and 9th in the standings coming into this race. They'll be there no longer. But Paul Aaron's used to this procedure. He's been on the podium a few times. Not here, though. His first race here. All 3 drivers making their debut here. But let's get him up onto the podium, shall we? Let's begin our celebrations. First of all, 3rd place, Paul Aaron for the Prema Power team. Well done to him. Great drive, held off a lot of pressure very well. Finishing in 2nd place for RSGP from Barbados on the podium in Monaco, it's Zane Maloney. History made for him, his 2nd podium of the season. But on the podium for the 2nd time and taking his 1st win of the season, it is going to be Isaac Hadjar. The RSGP team will come out first. Yep, Isaac Hadjar isn't wearing shorts and a polo. He's still in his race suit, and here he comes now. Isaac Hadjar, the Frenchman, onto the podium, and now we'll have the national anthem of France. Well, first we'll give their trophies there. You can see 1st place trophy going to Isaac Hadjar. Well done to him. Well done. Fantastic performance. He's your top rookie as well, by the way, so he gets the rookie trophy there, and then he gets your top trophy. 2 trophies. And he's now your points leader in the rookie standings as well, ahead of Gabriele Mini, who finished in 10th today. Finishing in 2nd place, as I said, from Barbados, it is Zane Maloney. Well done to him. Brilliant result. Okay, there we got these nice little trophies from them. I think they're going to be at the front of the trophy cabinet, aren't they? And 3rd place, Paul Aaron. Well done to him. Mr. Consistency, as I said. He is definitely going to be one to beat in this championship, and he's closed that gap right down to Gregor Saucy, and he could even take the championship lead tomorrow. So this could be a very good weekend for him. And of course, we have to award our winning team as well. We've got a few winning trophies from here, as I've said. R-Race GP, 1-2 finish for them. Great result overall. They had Hadrian David, 4th place as well, so 3 cars in the top 4. They're going to celebrate tonight, aren't they? Not too hard, though. We've got another race to come tomorrow. Well done to them. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff from your top 3. There's your podium finishers. And I think Isaac Hadjar's going to need a hand carrying all these down, isn't he? Even he thinks that. And there's another one. Good luck carrying those. I think his team's going to have to come and help him. Great stuff. Plenty of awards, but now the national anthem of France. Well done to your top 3. Isaac Hadjar, overall winner, rookie winner. To the left there, second, Zane Maloney. To the right, Paul Aron. And your winning team, R-Race GP. Can I come on the podium? Yeah, of course you can, Paul. Paul Aron. He jumps on as well. Pictures, and then the celebrations are going to begin. And we do it all over again tomorrow, like I said. Our race tomorrow will be at 11:50 local time here in Monaco. So make sure you join us on the live stream now. But for now, big celebrations. We usually don't get this on a Saturday, but hey, it's Monaco, so we've got to go for it, haven't we? Great to see. Really hope you've enjoyed the action. We're only halfway through the weekend. As I said, we will be back at 11:50 local time here in Monaco for race number 2. For now, though, it's goodbye.